Is Russian economy dead or is it going strong? I know it can be very confusing. I'm also a bit confused. If you watch me, I've been telling of economic tsunami that's been facing Russia, and it's been already seen in Russia, seen right now. Many other economists there say of same opinion as I am. But if you watch Putin's speech on February 21st, the address to all Russians, you will get a different kind of picture. He said that basically all is good, economy strong, it has survived. The future is good, bright, there is economic growth in 2023 and fantastic future in, future years. And if you watch YouTube and many Russian-based YouTubers, they show how wonderful life of regular Russians remains, still is. Basically, they're showing that life is same as usual, business as usual. Where is the truth? Let's find out. You decide for yourself then. Howdy, everyone. My name is Konstantin. Welcome to Inside Russia. This is where I give you important news updates that explain what's really happening in Russia right now. What you will not find on this channel is propaganda, lies, and BS. What you will find on this channel is truth, common sense, and logic, and emotions, because I am a human being. Inside Russia is where usual Russia is explained by the unusual Russian. In the first 30 or so minutes, and today there's going to be more than 30 minutes, I'm sorry, that's a very complicated and long message. So in the first part of my streams, I give daily message, and then I invite everyone to join the live stream chat to converse, ask questions, and give me feedbacks. I would love you to do that. Thank you so very much. Great to see everyone. Great to see so many people right now watching and joining every second. Well, let's talk about the economy. This stream could have been named differently. Did Russian economy die? Why didn't Russian economy die? When a Russian economy dies, if it dies, such a big and complicated topic. Again, it's a little over 30 minutes, I'm sorry. I'd like to answer some questions throughout the stream. And there will be quite a few, and there are two questions I've been asked many times, and I'll answer them right away. First question, did a Russian economy die? The answer is no, it has not died. Second question is, will a Russian economy die? And the answer is no, Russian economy will not die. Russia will continue existing regardless of what happens to it. And it will continue existing in different forms possibly, as one country, as it's going right now, or in many countries it might disintegrate into parts, or it'll be a vassal state, for example, of China. It doesn't matter, whether it remains to be under the sanctions or not, whether it's, again, one country or different parts. Regardless, Russian economy will not die. As long as people live in Russia, in the country, or in Russia's, there will be economy, there will be people living their lives, and there will be money involved. So therefore, there will be economy. Economy cannot die, plain and simple. So that's out of the way. So Russian economy will not die. That's it. And moreover, it's not the right question. The right question is how much Russian economy will shrink and how fast. And that's what I'm going to be talking about today. If you follow me for a long time, you know that I talk of Russian economy a lot. It's one of the main themes of my channel because Russian economy and economy in general is the foundation of everything. There are two things that are extremely important in terms of current state of Russian economy. And this is why it's so important to know what's happening, currently happening, what's happening right now. The strength of Russian economy influences two things greatly. First, the strength of current Russia's regime, and second, the ability of Russia to beef up its army and continue the war with Ukraine. Analogy with human being is like this. Economy is like body temperature. Economy is strong, and then body temperature is normal. Everything is normal. Economy is weak, body is feverish. And the worse economy is, the higher the fever is. Now, I have talked of Russian economy a lot. I'll come back a little bit just for 30 seconds. My analogy has always been tsunami. Since February 24th, 2022, since Putin started attacking Ukraine and killing Ukrainians, Russia has been facing an economic tsunami. Once earthquake on the bottom of the ocean happens, a big wave is born and it starts coming to nearest land. Hitting land is inevitable. The question is how fast the wave will travel and how bad the damage will be. With Russian economy, I've been talking of the very same thing. How fast it will shrink and how bad the damage will be. And you know what? I initially thought that catastrophe would start happening around midsummer 2022. The changes, they started being seen in the summer of 22, but not catastrophe. I was wrong. I downgraded my expectations and I thought the catastrophe would happen sometimes around New Year. I was wrong again. There was no catastrophe. But things got worse, significantly worse. But then there was no catastrophe. And my opinion was not unique. There were many economists that thought like me, and this is why. A few reasons for that. For, so to speak, a few riders of economic death or economic apocalypse. First reason, why I thought this tsunami would happen in the summer and then in around New Year of 2023. First reason, mass exodus of all businesses western out of Russia. What had been built for 30 years disappeared in days. I'm talking about March and April 2022. Tremendous combined value was lost to the economy. By combined value, I mean everything. Factories, big and small, closed. Companies left Russia. Eliminating of hundreds of thousands of jobs. Hundreds of billions of tax revenues were lost. Companies stopped selling their products in Russia, import sanctions. So hundreds of billions of rubles in terms of VAT, value-added tax, sales tax, have been lost, unpaid. Technologies, the driver of any economy is gone. All technologies are gone. And things like that. And this is what I call combined value. It's hard to estimate. I'd say it's trillions of rubles lost. Literally in days. Perhaps trillions, tens of trillions of rubles. It was bad. It was, in March, April, May, it was like a direct hit of a meteorite. A second reason. The sanctions have been placed upon everything Russia, including Russian national debt and Russian financial system. Too much to talk about that, really. Just, in a nutshell, Russia is the most sanctioned country not just in the world, but in the entire mankind history, Russia is basically an economic island, not just an economic, but country island, and it's really, really bad. Economically, it's been really bad. Third reason, Russian Gold and foreign currency reserves were frozen outside Russia in the amount of 330 billion US dollars, and that's huge. That's half of the entire Russia's reserves. Russia could be spending that money for almost a year without any revenues coming from anything. No tax, no VAT, no personal income tax, nothing. Just that money that was frozen, and that would last for a year, allowing Russia to function normally, as if nothing happened. I'll give you an analogy. Imagine you have income. You make $100,000 per year. And over 20 previous years, you have saved up 160,000 in the bank. That's your savings account. You keep it in two banks, 80,000 and 80,000. All of a sudden, you get a call from one of the banks, and they say, hey, you know what? Your money is frozen and it's confiscated. It's gone. Don't count on that. That's exactly what happened to Russia. Fourth reason, mass and sudden emigration of people out of Russia. Around 3 million people left. The cream of the crop, economists, bread makers, educated, energetic, entrepreneurial, high self-esteem, high confidence, those people that are really needed in any country, the foundation of economy, they left. It's really, really bad. It's a huge hit. And the last but not least, Russia lost its trump card. Ability to sell oil, natural gas, and metals. It's still selling some, but you know what? It's peanuts compared to what it sold before. This is bad on top of bad on top of bad. This reason was that Russia had the reserves, so much reserves in the first place, that it had saved up so much, and then basically Russia's financial well-being was based on this reason. Exporting of oil and natural gas and metals. This, my friends, is economic nuclear strike, direct hit. There are some more reasons, but these ones are the most major ones that made me speak of coming economic catastrophe, tsunami, and I spoke about it a lot. These four reasons by themselves are a perfect storm for trouble, for crisis, for perfect crisis for any economy. These are the riders of the economic apocalypse. Okay, this is so bad. It's beyond belief. I don't think that any country in the world faced anything like this. Okay, economic tsunami. Now, let me catch a breath. Whew. Well, actually, I'm doing pretty good on time. I thought it would take longer. Very complicated research. I've been doing research for 48 hours pretty much. Very complicated topic, and the most complicated thing is to explain it in plain, simple language, okay? Now, this what happened before, okay? Now let's talk about now. No, actually, before talking about now, let's talk about how Russia, despite those riders of the apocalypse, economic apocalypse, how Russia performed. Okay, now let's talk about the performance throughout 2022. So, and then we'll answer the question: did Russian economy die? Didn't die? How it performed? Is it strong? Is everything all right, or it's actually in trouble and things like that? So. Actually, in 2022, Russian economy performed fairly well. Way better than I and many other economists predicted, expected, and forecasted. In the beginning of 2023, things started drastically changing, deteriorating, and now economy is, well, let's put it this way, it's feverish and the fever is growing. First, let's talk about why Russian economy performed well in 2022. That's what I've done research for, because I was confused. On one hand, we have this incredible bad hits to the economy, any economy, perfect storm. Each one of those four reasons could have caused a huge crisis at any country, okay, in any country. All four of them combined. So why Russian economy performed decent in 2022? How possible to withstand all those four things? Even if you're not an economist, if you use common sense, you understand that those things are bad. The sanctions, the immigration, loss of your revenues. So the research I've done, actually, I could have written a term paper for college economics class. Let's say economics 201 or 202, something like that. Now, I'll try to explain in very simple language why economy did not crash. We say economy crash or crisis, and we mean it's a very fast collapse. One of the collapses, such as, for example, financial, banking, or industrial. Industrial collapse is when production stops. In Russia, such fast collapse, none of them happened it didn't happen fast. It didn't happen in 2022 due to four major reasons. Four Russian economic saviors, so to speak. So they were four economic riders of the apocalypse, and these are four economic saviors. Savior number one, very significant reserves. Even taken into consideration, half of the reserves were frozen. The remaining half is huge. Remember, you make $100,000 per year and you lose your job. But you still have like half of your reserves, half of your savings account is gone, but you still have 80,000, right? And then you live for the most of the year as if nothing happened. You don't cut your expenses, nothing. You just don't go to work, okay? Because $80,000 in your savings account saving you. No pun intended. So number one, very significant reserves. Savings account. Russia's savings account was very big. Number two, savior number two, large budget deficit due to high market prices for natural gas, oil, and metals. Remember how much you were paying for gasoline in March of last year? In California, and remind me if I'm wrong, but in California, $7 per gallon, over that. I remember people were complaining big time. In Canada, I think was even worse. Well, a big portion of that money went to Russia's pocket because Russia was one of the major oil producers and exporters, And same goes for natural gas and metals. Russia was riding a cash wave throughout all 2022, and the cash wave stopped when? On December 6th, when finally the export sanctions hit the country. Savior number three, large trade deficit. This is very unique, okay, for this is situation hasn't been seen before. In simple language, Russia trading with other countries was receiving so much more than it was giving out in terms of money. The sanctions, on one hand, and the high oil prices on one hand, and the sanctions on the other hand. Let me explain. What happened to Russia is it was hit with the sanctions, but they were importing sanctions, meaning countries from anywhere outside of Russia could not import things into Russia, like export into Russia. So how to say it simple? Russians were not allowed to buy things. For example, Apple computers are not sold in Russia anymore. Any computers, for that matter, except for Russian computers. I don't know any Russian computers. TV sets, cars, heavy machinery, gas turbines, pharmaceutical active ingredients for making drugs, rubber. Nothing can be exported to Russia. Russia is not allowed, country is not allowed to sell anything to Russia. Okay. On the other hand, Russia was hit with the exporting sanctions only at the end of the year. So the entire 2022, Russia was enjoying the situation when it was selling things to the world. But it was not allowed to be, no one allowed it to sell things to Russia. So basically, Russia was selling but wasn't buying anything. Therefore, Russia was selling, getting the money, and then started sitting on a pile of cash, and it was growing and growing and growing. Okay, that's a very unique situation in the world's economy. And the savior number 4, Russian economy was not that dependent on the US dollar, okay, as other countries. On top of that, there's another factor that supported Russian economy. Not like a huge, like, I can't say it's like one like savior number 5, but anyway, it's a factor that supported Russian economy a great deal. Russia's central bank. It simply closed Russia's banking system and stabilized it at the expense of Russian people, the customers of banks. It started regulating how Russians could use their money in the banks. You can't do that in a free society. It's my money, in the bank. I can go and withdraw it and do whatever I want to. But Russian central bank said, no, I am placing rules and regulations upon commercial banks, forbidding them to give you your money. So your money is safe in our banks. And that prevented panic at the expense of people's rights, so to speak. So people will, if they were allowed to withdraw money, everyone would just run to the banks and would start taking money. It actually happened for 2 weeks, first weeks, until March 8th of last year, and then central bank, closed this. It stopped the panic, basically. Now, if one of these factors that I just told you, the saviors of the economy, no, not the saviors. If one of the factors, right, the saviors, if one of the saviors, just one, was missing, then Russian economy would have been in a so much worse place than it is now. Russian economic situation did not go as planned by many economic experts, who predicted sudden crisis due to these 4 economic saviors. This situation is unique. It has not happened before in the world. And economists, studying it right now, usually when the crisis happens, there's a trade deficit, instant outflow of the capital, and the government needs to borrow money in order to pay the basic government functions, to provide the financing for that. But it can't, because no one wants to lend money to the government in trouble, bankrupt government. And that's when the international financial institutions usually come in to rescue the country and lend money. In return, governments must do certain things. And usually it's a policy of austerity, cutting expenses a great deal. Government stops paying, it decreases paying social policies, pensions, cuts salaries to government employees just to save money. It happened to many countries. The recent one on my memory is Greece in 2010. This is exactly what happened. Then Argentina before, many countries. To give you an analogy, let's say you go into personal bankruptcy. You have a loan, you lose your job, money stopped flowing in, but you need to pay the bank. And the bank calls you up and you make a deal with the bank. You say, hey, listen, I don't want to default. I want to pay you, but I need a break. You postpone the payments, but in return, the bank says, okay, I'll do that. But in return, you cut your expenses. You don't buy any luxury goods. You don't buy expensive food. You don't, you downgrade your car from Mercedes to Ford Fiesta, You move to a smaller apartment, smaller house, you eat bread and water, so to speak, and everything that you save, you give it to the bank. This is what policy of austerity is called. And usually when a crisis in the country happens, that's when policy of austerity kicks in, because someone else comes, big bank, World Bank, International Monetary Fund, they come and save you. You see, in Russia, that's not the case. In Russia, the case was that there was a budget deficit and the capital kept on flowing, but was not outflowing because Russia was selling, but was not buying much. No austerity was needed, as Russia did not have to cut on expenses. The government employees got paid as usual. Social policies weren't cut, and Russia kept on spending because it had means, it had money. As a result, Russia didn't have to borrow money from abroad, okay? So the financial sanctions that were placed on Russia in the beginning of the year, they were not effective at first. I remind you, financial sanctions is they cutting your ability to borrow money, okay? So no one will give you money. They didn't work well. They didn't work as expected. They worked in other countries, okay? They worked in Iran and Venezuela and North Korea, but they didn't work with Russia this time. This was something that never happened before in history to any country. That's why you heard, oh, Russia hasn't been affected. Russian economies, look, it's doing fantastic. Life as usual, restaurants open, malls open, etc. Bloggers taking you places and saying, hey, look at Russia, everything is fantastic, everything's fine. Because there was no austerity policy in place, no austerity was needed. One thing I will mention here, and that's a hugely interesting thing, economists discovered something huge recently. This is cutting edge stuff, economic stuff. The economists understood that when you place sanctions upon country, importing sanctions actually help countries that are under sanctions. Exporting hurt their economies. So you understand? Do you follow me? Importing sanctions, saying like, oh, all countries, all companies, you cannot sell to Russia anymore. Okay, and they don't sell to Russia. That's importing sanctions. But Russia can sell to other countries. It's oil, it's natural gas, that's exporting sanctions. So Russia is selling, receiving money, and not spending because it's not buying anything from anyone. So they are discovering that the importing sanctions are really helping those countries that are placed under importing sanctions, okay? This is amazing. This is economic frontier. Whoever tells you that the economy is not interesting and boring, look at this stuff, okay? So that's why bankruptcies, they happened, but they did not, it was like not a wave of bankruptcies in Russia. Labor market kept on going strong because, imagine this, Russian manufacturers all closed, but people were not fired. They were still getting paid, but a little amount for doing nothing, basically. And then many companies did that. They paid them for 2 days out of 5, but people didn't work. How? Because too much money. Imagine you lost your job, but you have the reserves. You made 100,000 but you still have 80 in the bank, and you live as usual. You spend as usual. You just don't go to work. You have more free time. That's it. But you spend as usual. And this is why Putin kind of fooled everyone, saying, hey, Russia hasn't been broken. It has been, but I'll get to that in a second. We're talking about short term now. We're talking 2022. The game changer for Russian economy was December 6th. I don't know if it was intentional or unintentional. I think that a lot of governments in the European countries, they understood that importing sanctions didn't really work that well, but exporting sanctions were not in place. So they, in the summer of 2022, they put exporting sanctions upon Russia. It's the sixth package of economic sanctions. I think it was accepted somewhere around July. Don't quote me on that, but in the summertime. That package said that on December 6th, there will be a ban on buying Russian oil. Ban, like no European company would be allowed to buy Russian oil. And natural gas, Russia stopped selling itself. It cut off everyone completely. And then Nord Stream and then the pipelines were blown up by still, no one knows who. So another thing, except for the ban, was that Russian oil all over the world would not be able to be sold more than a certain price, $60 per barrel, regardless of current market price. So you see what they did? They cut off Russia. They cut Russia off receiving money. And 2022 was the year when Russian government was really raking in the money and was just taking excessive money and basically patching up all the problems in the Russian economy with that money because it could afford. It had lots of money. But the year 2023, everything changed. As soon as December 6 came, Russian oil and gas, gas revenues non-existent now. Russian oil revenues started falling like crazy. Export sanctions is Russia's economy killer. We kind of seeing the prerequisites for sudden stop of the economy, for the crisis that me and many other economists were saying would happen in 22, but didn't happen. We are seeing the prerequisites for this crisis right now. When I'm saying tsunamis here, I mean that the wave did not just all of a sudden hit us like a train and crushed everyone, no. But the water is raising. It's like Titanic, okay? The water inside of the ship, of the vessel, is raising and it's tilted. And its fate, it's pretty much decided. What are we facing, what we're having in Russia right now? April 2023. First of all, numbers that speak volume. Russia's budget deficit. Remember, in last year, there was proficit, very large proficit due to high prices for oil and lots of sales of natural gas and import sanctions, no export sanctions. Now everything is on the contrary. Russia cannot sell gas and Russia cannot sell oil to Europe. Its best customer used to be the best customer, and now it sells oil to other countries, but no higher than $60. Right now, I think that Russian oil is traded at $47. And logistics is much more expensive. Basically, Russia is selling oil at the price of its extraction. Income is down. Expenses are up big time. 50%. Russia is gearing towards war economy, and it's spending so much more for military industrial complex expenses. You see, out of the blue, we received a huge expense that we never had before. War stuff, military stuff, That's economy killer number 2. First is incomes down big time, expenses up, that's number 2. Ukraine counteroffensive, that's gonna be a game changer for everything, for social situation in Russia, for the way how the government speaks, what they do, and so forth. That's not 100% economical factor, but it will affect economy a great deal. The sanctions continue, and now they are actually have become very efficient. Okay, they have started working. And Russian reserves are gone. They're gonna be gone by, I would say, July or August. Because of the huge budget deficit, Russia is spending way more than it's making, and it's gonna be covered up. From where? From savings account, and they're doing it just now. Just to give you the numbers, in December of 2022, Russian government planned for budget deficit for the entire year of 2023 of 3 trillion rubles. After 3 months, January, February, and March, we are 3.6 trillion ruble budget deficit. And we still have 9 months to go, 3 times as much. Imagine what will the final number of Russia's the budget deficit will be. It's going to be huge. What's going to happen with the Russian economy? Well, obviously, it's a game changer year. 2023 is when the economy, it's been broken already. Okay, December 6th broke it, really. But now we start seeing effects of that breakdown. And the effects is what we didn't see in 2022, the tsunami. The effects is the austerity policy will be put in place. The effects will be the Russian people, regular people, will start, the bankruptcies will increase. The banks will be hit with defaults, a wave of defaults, corporate and personal. Consumer demand will weaken a great deal because people will be saving a lot. Classical crisis. It's not going to happen overnight. It's not going to be a fast one, but a gradual deflation, a gradual shrinking of the economy. I think we will start seeing very drastic effects. In other words, there will be no YouTubers in July and August going around saying, oh, look at that, how many people at the expensive restaurants. No, I'll look at how many, shopping malls are full of people and stuff like that. They won't be doing that. What Russian central bank will do, it'll try to help the economy a bit. It will devalue Russian ruble. It's already been devalued. It already has been devalued a great deal. A few months ago, $1 American would buy you 49 Russian rubles. Okay? Now, today, $1 American will buy you 81 Russian rubles. So it's always been devalued by, 100%. In very few short months, for one simple reason. Whatever revenues that Russia is receiving for oil and some gas from China, minuscule amounts, they come in dollars, US dollars. Therefore, they devalue in rubles, so they get dollars and they will get more rubles for $1, basically, and they will cover expenses for regular people like the government employees, whoever the government pays to, okay? On social policies, that'll help them a little bit, but it will not save the economy. What will happen next is the printing press will be turned on, the prices will go up, the inflation will skyrocket, and the regular people, as usual, will be hit very hard, okay? I see a big mess coming in Russian economy in the following months. I can't say when. Again, my estimation is around summertime. I was wrong by 1 year, but considering that what I expected will happen, I'm just wrong by time. That's it. I'm not wrong by the result. Russians will start becoming poor. Um, the regime will have less money. It means that it will not be paying out as much. You know what they're gonna do? They're gonna start hitting people harsh. They're gonna start. There aren't any freedoms left. But what's gonna follow next is the USSR handling of people. Let's put it this way: people won't even be able to open their mouths without consequences. So they'd better keep their mouths shut. To sum up, I will tell you that for the remaining of the year in Russia, it will be a bear market, a bear year, not a bull year. Moreover, it's going to be the decades, the following decade and the following decades of the bear. So get yourself some popcorn, kick back, relax, and watch the show. The show is not going to be a pleasant one for the Russians. There will be many tragedies. There will be many, perhaps deaths, probably. There will be much wealth disappear. But you know what? People saw it coming. People were told it was coming. People must know that every action that the country makes has a reaction. And the reaction is coming. And it's already here. And it's going to be worse and worse. This foundation that used to be very strong in Russia, the economy, is getting destroyed. And as you know, without foundation, the house doesn't stand. It'll fold like a guardhouse. Folks, this has been my message for today. Thank you so much for coming, giving me a chance, watching and listening. Really appreciate it. I would like to turn on the comments and please give me the feedback. What do you think? Did you understand what I say? If you have any questions, I would love to answer them and clarify things if I didn't express something clearly enough. Please stay, converse, and give me feedback and ask questions. Before I turn on live stream chat, I'd like to ask you a couple things. Please help me spread this message by making repost in your social media accounts. Sign up for my Telegram group called Inside Konstantin's Russia. Description. The link will be in the description below. And if you liked what you just heard, would you consider hitting the like button and subscribing to the channel? Thank you so very much. The chat is on. And I'm ready. It says chat is not on. There you go. Now I'm seeing it. The rules are simple. Please respect the others, and the others will respect you. No hate, no trolls. We have the best mod team in the world here. English only. If you want me to notice your message easier, please put it in caps and put inside Russia after @ sign so that jumps into my eyes. Highlighted in orange. That helps a lot. So thank you so much. Mommy and Lorna, as usual, number 1. the rest of the mods, Blackhead, Bob S., Harry, and Amir. Thank you so much for showing up. And the usual suspects, headed by Dirk. Howdy, howdy, everyone. Dirk, every time I walk in Tashkent, I think of you. Because every time I see a tree painted white on the bottom, and there all are, then, I always think of you. Howdy, everyone. Angry Panda, thank you so much. Says, well explained. Doug. Tupalusto, hello from Finland. Congratulations again on becoming a NATO member. Frank Muller, howdy. Mr. Kaliski in Chicago is in the house. Pentium 100 megahertz from Lithuania, howdy. Guy L, what the fudge? Not enough light boats and Titanic either. Guy, I think today's stream was one big what the fudge. Grace Philosophy, thank you so much for showing up. Thank you, Grace. Great to see you. Fantastic. Hope all is well. Team Wanderloo, message was clear and strong to me. Thank you so much. That's actually great, Bob S., howdy. Sergio Narciso, do you think a big military loss in the summer plus economic crash will turn the tides of the people? What I'm pretty sure is there will be a military loss of some kind. Probably not even in the summer, before that. And I'm pretty sure there will be economic, not crash, but shrinkage, a great deal of shrinkage, the deficit growing, the ruble devaluing, and so forth, But what I'm not sure is that will turn the tides of the people. That I'm not sure. After what I saw with my own eyes, as people were giving out their sons, to get mobilized, they were crying, fathers and mothers and families, but they were giving their boys to the mobilization people with their own hands. After that, I'm not sure of anything of Russian people. Mikhail Asp, howdy. Great to see you. Thanks for tonight's stream. Russia seems to have 2,300 tons of gold and gold reserves. Is that part of your calculation? Yes. Half of that gold is gone. It's called golden foreign currency reserves in Russia. Half of that is gone. It's been confiscated, and it's probably going to be used for rebuilding Ukraine. That's a lot of money. Tom W, howdy. Arjun, thank you for clear message. Thank you so much. Nash Lepore, good morning, watching from Australia. Howdy to the Down Under. Fantastic place you have. Caesars, howdy. My friend from Czech Republic, feedback is positive. What do you think of Elvira Nabiulina? She is brilliant. She's absolutely brilliant. She built one of the best financial systems in the world. It's not just her. She has an assistant, also a lady. They both are tandem fantastic. They are the ones who actually saved Russia by applying these strict policies to the banking system. They basically salvaged banking system, okay? That was banking panic. People were taking money out. They were selling ruble, dropping ruble, buying dollars. Elvira Nabiulina did what she did, and it saved Russian financial system. Unfortunately, she's a part of Putin's regime, and she's going to be responsible for everything that Russia has been doing to Ukraine. She's part of the team. She's part of the decision-making, the HQ of Russia. So she's a criminal. But a brilliant one. Crusader Damien, since the sanctions were announced, I predicted Russian economy like the 70s. What I didn't consider was the breakup that is coming. I do not believe the West will bail the Russia out of this time. Thank you so much. Good questions, good statements. This is not a question, it's a statement, and it's hard to disagree with you. Sledgehog, thank you. I truly hope every Russian understands that having semi-friend with massive border in NATO is actually a good thing once this stupidity is done. This is a very, very strong message, statement, and let me speak on that. I've been to many countries. I have not seen bad people anywhere. I've been told many times that other countries are really bad and people there are bad. When I was growing up, Americans were plain and simple evil. I hated Americans until I was age 5 because I was indoctrinated, not by my parents, they didn't care, but the state. And when I was 5, 6, I started changing my mind. I started thinking, critical thinking, the child's thinking, but still thinking, it kind of started changing me. By the age of 13, I started asking questions like fire. They burned everything inside me and changed my understanding. Because I started using logic and common sense and critical thinking full time, So anywhere I went, anywhere I traveled, I didn't see enemies of Russia. I didn't see enemies. People are people everywhere. We're the same. Are the governments, the bad people in the government. They create bad policies that make us enemies, okay? I have not seen one bloodthirsty American or French or Italian or Finnish or, Iranian. If I'm talking about regular people, not the government, that's completely different. But we all want peace. We all want happiness. We want our children to grow in a nice world. We don't want wars. Show me one person who wants it, okay? So I hope all Russians will understand soon that they've been fooled greatly. Not greatly, but terribly. And I just hope that they will get their minds straight, There's little chance of that, but I hope. KG1, thank you so much. Urals oil price now at 65 due to recent OPEC oil production cut. Will this help slow the collapse? Just a little tiny bit. They cannot sell it at 65. Don't forget, there's a cap. They cannot sell to European countries at all, ban. And Chinese and Indians, they can only sell at 60. No matter what is the market price. So, no. Russian budget is created with the price of oil at $70. Okay, so if they keep on selling at 60, it's still going to be a collapse. Probably not as fast. Manos, howdy. Maybe a new channel, How to Survive Inside Russia, should be launched. I have had quite a few ideas for new channels, but you know what? I don't want to. I even struggle to realize all ideas for this channel. If I start a new channel, then I won't be able to do as much for this one. So I want to do something like one channel, but do it right. But it's a good idea. Thank you. Laura Ambrosio, Inside Russia. I wish the aftermath of the invasion of Ukraine had come sooner. Not because I want Russia to collapse, but because maybe it would shorten the duration of the damn war. Plain and simple. Laura, makes two of us. Thank you. Black Cat, 2 birthdays. Grace Philosophy and Tom W. Gosh, what a day. Hang on. Frank, happy birthday, Grace. Laura Ambrosio, sponsorship to 5 people. Thank you so much, Laura. Appreciate it. And Just Terry, thank you for 5 more memberships. So Tom W and Grace. First, Grace. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Grace. Happy birthday to you. Hooray. Wishing you many happy returns of the day. Wishing you good health and good luck. And, you have a great family and you have great grandchildren. Just, I wish that they grow healthy and safe. And, you just enjoy being a grandma and a mother. And you have fantastic daughter as well. And your family is fantastic. So, happy birthday and congratulations. Have many happy returns. Tom W. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Tom. Happy birthday to you. Also, wishing you many happy days, many happy returns of the day. Happy birthday. All the best. Good health, happiness, and good people around you, friends and family and the loved ones. Happy birthday. And keep on coming back to this community, to this channel. Grace Philosophy. Grace, thank you. Thank you so much. It's a pleasure. Mark Bramlett from Jacksonville, Florida is here as usual. Jacksonville is on a map, that's for sure. Jake Allen sending a super chat with no message. I very appreciate it. Your message speaks volumes, although it doesn't have words. Thank you so much. RC Roscoe, I'm going to get me some of that money by getting involved in the rebuild. Okay, good. Grace, thank you again. And Jekyll, thank you. Frank in Texas in the house. Hope all is well. Frank, well, all is okay here, Can't say that it's great and fantastic, but at least I'm healthy and free, So I hope all is well with you. Lorraine Prasnowski, howdy, howdy. California Mountain Gold, does Russia have enough land to grow food to feed the population? Well, does it? I think it has plenty. Russia is one of the food baskets of the world. The south of Russia is amazing in terms of food production, agricultural production. Russians will most likely not go hungry. We never were hungry in the USSR. But we ate potatoes only. But potatoes feed you, you will not die. We had potatoes, sometimes meat. We had sometimes veggies of low quality and plenty of turnips, things like that. So, but we didn't starve, and Russians will not starve in the future. Janice Burgess, well, I'm pretty sure you can go back and watch the message. Howdy. Marian, happy it went beyond the usual 3-minute TV report. Thank you so much, Marian. It was my pleasure. Lorna, I'm seeing now. I'm a little behind on the comments. Matthew Everett, how are food and other consumer staples prices? Food is 50% up from last year. Consumer staples prices up 50%. Now, they depend on dollar, okay? Let's say Apple headphones cost $100. Ruble is traded at 47, then they cost 47,000 rubles. Ruble is traded, dollar is traded at 80, they cost 80,000 rubles. 8,000 rubles. I'm sorry, 80 would be 1,000. Again, $100, 40, like if ruble is dollar is at 47, then headphones would cost 4,700, 4,700. If the ruble dollar is traded at 80, Then headphones would go for 8,000 rubles, 800, 800, okay? That's plain and simple. So the consumer staple prices are going to shoot up. They have shot up already because they depend on dollar. Mac computer that was brought in Russia, not directly from Apple, but you could buy it somewhere in Dubai and bring it over. You were selling it for, let's say, 170,000 rubles. Now it's sold for 230,000 rubles. 230,000 rubles. That's right. So that just to give you a little example. Caesars, inside Russia, you're getting better with a birthday song. Thank you. Give it one more year. It'll just be perfect. Thank you, my friend. The Q mods. Liz Dumbrell. My fourth grandchild will be born on Tuesday 11th. In Russia, we never say congratulations before child is born, but we're waiting, okay? Once the child is born, that's going to be a congratulations and celebration. Liz, keep us informed, please. Arjun, guess Russia won't run out of money until the end of 2023. Afterwards, they could issue bonds to borrow money from China in exchange for... No, probably not. China will not supply Russia with money. I don't think so. I don't think it'll happen. Russia will run out of money around July, August, I would say. With the current budget deficit that's going on, that's going to be huge. Katharina Holm, the collapse of the Russian economy was in slow motion. The tsunami commenced 5/12/22. Was on EU's website with explanation why sanctions commenced so late. Okay, thank you. I did not see the website of EU, unfortunately, but I know what you're talking about. Georgia. What else has to happen for Russian people to stand against a regime that weakens their country? I don't know. That's a huge mystery. That's not economics. Economics is simple. Russian people is really a mystery to me. Guy L., what do you make of Macron and Ursula meeting Xi Jinping today? I think they made a deal on Russia. I think the Chinese traded Russia like a card. Throw the card out. That's what I think. I have not seen any information about that, but this is my feeling, the gut feeling. After all, Chinese ambassador to EU, he said that, forget about Russia. Friendship, eternal friendship with Russia is just rhetoric. Okay, that's how China operates. That falls perfectly into its model of Chinese behavior. As someone with no economic education, I understood well. You did a very good job, especially in the forum. Thank you so much. This is great. Thank you. I was hoping to get something like this because thank you. I really tried, and it's not easy. Foreign language, you're right. Very complicated topic. That is really hard for me to understand too. Some things I had to research because I couldn't understand why Russian economy didn't collapse. But now everything is crystal clear, and I tried to explain it to you in a simple language. So thank you. Last 107 from Central Maine. Say hello to the state of Maine from me, please. My second home. It's in my heart. Natasha, howdy. Dave Strains, Janice Burgess, howdy. Tomasz Haba, consider that U.S. government is using the world reserve currency dollar as a weapon in this proxy war versus Russia. Russia making new trade pacts with the majority of world economies and has resources to trade. Tomasz, remember I said one of the things that actually was in favor of Russia was Russia does not depend on dollar that much. Russian economy is not dollarized. And you're absolutely right. If Russia was dollarized, then that US government weapon would be much more effective, Sledgehog, as a huge fan of Russian science fiction literature, I really hate now a nation is self-destructing and nuke threatening every critic as a second move. Thank you. Thank you for your support. I have lots of mixed feelings like this too. Many more. Trust me, many more. My friends, I apologize. Someone's knocking on my door. That's at this 1 a.m. Hang on, give me a second. Folks, I apologize. Those neighbors from below, they thought I was flooding them. What's up with these people in floods? I'm not flooding them though, so they went to other neighbors. Not KGB. Don't worry about it. The KGB never comes at night, by the way. It can come early in the morning or daytime, but never at night. So no worries. Caesars, Nabiulina wanted to surrender her position at the beginning of SMO, right? Rumors. I think she did, but she was not let. She can be a hostage of the situation. I don't know, but Putin, I think it was March 2nd or 3rd of 2022, right after the start of the war, he prolonged her reign as head of Russia's central bank for another 5 years or something like that. So rumors, but I tend to believe them. James Rhodes, I watched a video called The Russian Talks from November 21. It was special because it was when Mommy K and Lorna were made mods. No, can't be. No, oh, 21. Yeah, yeah. Was it? I thought they were made in the summertime. No? Imagine my delight seeing the blue ranches awarded. Let me tell you, James, those ranches were not awarded. It's actually uh, my pleasure that they accepted the ranches. I'm honored. Not I didn't award them anything. I'm honored for them to become mods, and I was honored for them to become mods at that time. Uh, Buffering, huh? I'm not buffering here. Very strange. Juja, what else has to happen for Russians to stand up? Again, I don't know. Ellie B, howdy, thank you. Guy L, the Chinese definitely have Russia over the barrel. Agreed. M4, Japan will buy oil over the cap. I have not heard of it. If they do, it's not going to be. Japan is not major oil buyer for Russia, so that's not going to make much of a difference. But why would Japan do something like that? Mr. Kaliskian, wars are started by individuals who don't personally have to fight. 100% agree with you on that. I'll just press the button. 100%. You know. Ronda Lastico, the Midas Touch has several channels all connected together. Maybe this could be an option for you. I know what Midas Touch is, but I've never heard who's the Midas Touch, the channel owner. I will stay with Inside Russia for now, and then we'll see what happens in the future. Bob asks, you gotta have them ready for every stream, because you never know when I'm gonna sing. Pamela J, my birthday yesterday. Ho ho! Well, I missed yesterday. Sorry, due to personal reasons, I couldn't stream. But Pamela J, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Pamela. Happy birthday to you. Also, wishing you many happy returns of the day. Fantastic to have you. You are such a usual suspect. Thank you so much. Please keep on coming back every day, and please give us a pleasure of seeing you. California Mountain Goal. If Russia was cut off the whole world, could it survive within itself? Build its economy, not requiring anything else, because it could provide all needs to live and thrive. It could, in theory, if the management of the country was right, if the government was right. Russia and the Russian government are two different things. Russian government has usurpated power. It has controlled the country to actually steal money, basically, and enrich members of the government. Plain and simple. They're not interested in Russia to thrive. They don't care. They just care about their own wealth and their own power. That's all. With the current government, not a chance. With new government, good governance, definitely Russia has everything for that. Sasha, Mr. Popular, how the prospects of going to the moon looking nowadays? Still love that stream you made last year. So good. You know what? I will. You know what? The prospects are about the same as they were not last year. Last April. They haven't changed much since that. Russians, just to give you an idea, Russians used to launch over 300 space rockets every single year. So far, in the last year, well, in the last 12 months, they have launched one. That just tells you a little bit about the prospects of going to the moon. Thank you so much for calling me Mr. Popular. That's I haven't heard that before. I haven't heard that in a long time. Dory, opera style this time. I can't do that. I'm doing my best singing as it is. Elizabeth da Silva, yes, thank you. I agree with you. Caesars, well, does the Russian Federation has official ruler and unofficial ruler? Well, it certainly does the official, but unofficial is unofficial. that's that's the whole idea behind being unofficial. I think so. Mets fan, your singing will bring down the new Iron Curtain. Digital one, yeah. Lorna, that ghetto video live stream. Will, by gosh, do you think China will make Russia's economy more honest? No. I don't even know what it'll make Russian economy. That I have no clue. But that's not going to be good, that's for sure. RC Roscoe, they have everything but the knowledge how to do it. Not the knowledge. They probably even have the knowledge. It's just some people have the power, they don't let it go. And some people don't know how to use the power they have as the people. Russians have no clue of the concept we are the people, unfortunately. Pure Water Black, do you have any information on the execution of budget of Russian Federation for the first quarter of 2023? Last month deficit was 2,581 2.5 trillion rubles. Well, in Russia we say 2.6. Now it's 3.5. The official numbers have not been released yet, but pretty much I think that the rumors, everyone is saying that it's 3.6 billion in the red. So the deficit is growing, and that's basically the entire later portion of my stream about what's going to happen. Jason Carney, thank you so much for huge support as usual. Thank you for coming in. Thank you. I appreciate it. Sam K. Constantine needs a program birthday music in his effects box. It's a good idea. Folks, let me tell you, what would you like to hear? Music playing or me singing? Thank you, Terry. Give man a singing contract. Yeah, right. What happens when the country runs out of money? Well, basically, I will simplify my stream to you in a few words. Okay. Go and get yourself some popcorn. Sit back, kick back, relax, and enjoy this show. It's not going to be a comedy. Let me tell you, it was more like going to be like a mix of drama and horror movie. But that's what you're going to be watching when you'll be seeing Russia in soon, in 2023. George C. Magwar, the War Games. Please let me know if you got my message. I'm sorry, where did you send the message to? Matt's fan, Konstantin, do they get your stream inside of Russia? Of course they do. YouTube is still open. It's not restricted in Russia, and any Russian can watch my stream. Grace Philosophy, question 1. Do you consider starting podcast? How did the meeting with the man from Ukraine who was sort of a... Grace, number one, I considered starting a podcast, but again, I concentrate on Inside Russia. I don't have any help at this point. Perhaps Natasha can help me out. The best I can do for streaming is to take this live streams and turn them into the streams, the podcast, so to speak. And the second, well, this is kind of like confidential information, so I don't. I'll answer you in a Patreon message. Thank you so much, and we're praying for you as well, and we'll pray today, of course. Thank you. Ferrari guy, do you think India buying oil under price cap and reselling it actually helping the market by keeping the prices low? Well, it's certainly India is helping India. It's helping itself. Indians are making money. They probably are helping markets keeping prices lower. I wouldn't say low, but lower. Yes. Chirper. It was my 82nd birthday on 3rd of April. It looks like I'm going to be singing one more time. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Chirper. Happy birthday to you. Thank you for being a fantastic part of the community. And, thank you for coming. Thank you again. Have many happy returns of the day. Happy birthday. Belated. Happy belated birthday. Belated happy birthday. I don't know how you say that. Thank you. Vitan Goranov. Hey bro, I'm watching from Bulgaria. You can't imagine how much you helped me. We have lived under the same boot as you for years. I understand everything you say, and it hits me right in the gut. Thank you, friend. Thank you. Every time a Bulgarian watches me and let alone sends message of encouragement like that, thank you. It really warms my heart. Thank you. Great to have you. Panda Chess, since Easter is on our doorstep, how is your price for a box of eggs, 10 pieces? I will ask of current price in Russia. When I left, it was around $1.20, $1.30. Right now, probably more. And here in Uzbekistan, of course, the price doesn't change. It stays the same. It's a Muslim country. Although tons of Christians here. Jason Carney, thank you so much again. I appreciate. Thank you. Janine, bedtime. Thank you so much. Have a great good night's sleep. Katharina Holm, thank you so much. Not easy to explain the complex situation so everybody can understand without digging in the statistics. Well, I tried not to dig into, well, I did dig into the statistics, but I didn't dare to present statistics here because it's going to be too much. Sledgehog, Putin nailed this. He personally doubled NATO border and got the most defense invested country with actual working military. He nailed it so many times. He nailed it like 10 times more what you're saying. NATO is just part of it. He alienated Ukraine. He made it an enemy of Russia. He made so many enemies around Russia. He, you name it. He destroyed Russian economy. Just crazy. Jimmy Penrose from Edgecombe, Maine. The second Mainer here. Howdy, howdy. I'm going to have to change my name. Lube Dominguez, excellent economic lessons. The demise of Russia is in the horizon. Once again, thank you for the insight. My pleasure. Thank you so much. We were mods sooner, but you made it official. Lauren, I think I remember. I didn't know how to make you mods, so I was asking everyone, and then they were giving me hints, and yeah, I remember. But yeah, you were in the mods way, way before. Wayne, thank you so much. 18 eggs. What? $9? Why so expensive? Just eggs. In Russia, they're probably no more than $2 for 10. So it's 4 for 10. So 18 would be, $4 by most. Time's up. Thank you for the heads up. Yes. Wayne, thank you so much. Midas Touch. I don't know what Midas Touch is, but I gotta check it out. Thank you, but I really, I really, really appreciate it. Thank you. It means a lot to me when people say stuff like that, something like that. And there's actually pretty cool message from Natasha from the Emerald Land. Varlamov made a cool video about Tashkent on his channel, but not English translation yet. Well, I saw him in Tashkent. He was quite some time ago, about a month ago. He met one of my friends who I featured in the movie. His name is Valentin. And Valentin actually took him to the skyscraper and explained how locals build skyscrapers. Yeah, that's a fellow from our breakfast club. He's also a vlogger. He has his own channel. He's and his wife. I went to their place a couple weeks ago. I actually recorded a great interview with them. The wife cried a little bit when we were speaking about Ukraine, so it's coming. Watch. But yeah, I saw Varlamov's Tashkent video, and that's pretty cool. I like it. He's coming back to Tashkent again. By the way, he asked me twice to advertise on my channel, to advertise his channel. Caesar's neighbors are important. They can make you or break you. Thank you so much, and there's no doubt about that. The Midas Touch is very good. I will check him out. Thank you. I really find Ilya Varlamov very interesting to watch, and also Maxim Katz. Without a doubt, they're very interesting to watch. Thank you so much, my friends. I hope you learned something today. I hope you enjoyed watching and hearing me speak. I tried my best. I hope I succeeded just a little bit. Thank you so much. I would like to finish this live stream by a usual action, by praying, and I invite everyone to pray along with me. Let's do it. Dear Lord Jesus Christ, thank you so much for giving us this good day. Thank you for giving us food, putting food on our tables and giving us roofs over our heads. Thank you for surrounding us with people who we love and who love us. Please keep our children safe and healthy. Give us wisdom to keep the skies above our children's heads safe and peaceful. Give us wisdom to raise our children the way that when they become adults, they will make this world a better place. They will never be fighting in any wars. Dear God, please help stop the bloodshed in Ukraine. Reach out and touch the hearts and souls of people who are responsible and who have ability to stop the bloodshed. Fill their hearts with love. Send them empathy, forgiveness, mercy. Have them wake up from this lethargic sleep they've been at and make a decision. So they make a decision to stop the bloodshed. Please help every single Ukrainian who's been affected by this terrible tragedy. Answer their prayers and make their wishes come true. Send every Ukrainian an angel so they keep people out of harm's way. Please help all Ukrainians. People have suffered so much. They need a break. They need this bloodshed to stop. Also, please help my country, Russia. Send the army of strongest angels with sharpest swords led by Saint Michael to get rid of all demons that have hijacked my country. Make it run by the angels. Make it peaceful, make it good, make it a good neighbor. So people are not afraid of Russia, not scared by it, but actually befriend it and, have it as a good neighbor. Please, God bless everyone who's helping Ukrainians, opening their hearts, wallets, homes. Dear God, send help to those who are traveling, send them safe travels. Help those who are seeking for asylum, especially with the families, big families. Send your help and good people their way. Please help the sick ones, the homeless, the jobless, the depressed, the ones who are struggling with their faith, the addicted ones. Shine your light onto these people and surround them with your warmth and send your love into their hearts so they feel good about themselves and about their lives again. They will have another shot at happiness. Please help everyone who is without electricity and heat and water in Ukraine. Please send them your help. I'm asking you to please help us all to give us wisdom so we keep the skies above our heads, all of us heads, peaceful. Thank you so much. Thank you for putting us into this community. Thank you for allowing us to come together and pray. Please help everyone who is praying along with me or just simply watching us pray. Please answer everyone's prayer and make everyone's wish come true. I am asking for people who need your help, and their names are Larry, Greg, Jim and Shirley Hall, Delaney and her daughters, Ann Larson, her family and daughter, Florentina, Carolyn Rydnoa, Max family, Sherry Moran, CKOC, Brian Wilkes, Liz Dumbrell, Ripted, daughter of Aspen English, Ruth, the friend of Darla, Susan, Paul, Faith Brother, Rudy Kaisley, Bip, Ivan Gershkovich, Wayne, Shirley, Debbie, Jen Allen, Finola, Lars Henrik and Lars Henrik's mother, the Highwayman, Amanda, Ray Noah and her roommate, Essie from the Scottish Isles, Outlander and family, Choriz and family, David Porter and family, and everyone in Chernovtsi, Ukraine, Lars, Susan Marshall, Beulah, Lazarus, Boss Simon, Alvin's sister, Teresa D., Marsha Tucker, Garcia Castellanos, Terry Carter, Joe and Lee McMahon, Metta Spencer, Deanna and family, Breeze Friend, Caroline, Albina Fell, Michael Yukon, Life, Joel, Terry, Karine Vasseur, Pamela J., Daniel 9, Lindsay, Yelena, Natasha, Jake, Michael, Oля, Dasha, Sky, Bonnie, Galina, Igor, Karen from Maine, Jamie, Michael Milkowitz, Marlene, Paul Bins, Richard, Mallory M., Dirk Misler, James Rhodes, Terry, Richard Burris, Angelica at Life, and Scan's family grandson, Grace, Barb, Randolph, Nelly, Arkady, and Yuri, and everyone in Mykolaiv, Ukraine, Harry's family, Verlinda's niece, Ian James, Doug, Priscilla Michelin, King Nero, Gaby Hyman, Donald, Deborah, Lisa's son, Jade, Kaltenberg, Allison Dave Moyers, Maureen M. and her sister, Mr. Hansen, Heidi, Bob, Rob, Matt, Ashley family, Mr. Dean Spooner and his church, called Our Savior Lutheran Church, Lisa Kumrian, Jacob, Adam Oliver, Amy, Treasure, Kyle's wife, Grace Philosophy, please help her, send recovery and good health, and her wonderful family and the granddaughters, Maggie, Carmen's sister, Vladislav and his father Sergey, Susie Myler, Gina Wayfarer, MS paramedic, Liz, Lori Miles' husband, Sherry, Layla, Philip's mother, Thomas Fall and his mother. Also would like to ask for some special children. They are Cadence, Maverick, Sebastian, Coulter, Theo, Maddie, Ansley, 2-year-old niece of Karine Vasseur. Please send them recovery, send them good health, good luck, good life, and happiness. Surround them with your love and warmth, and send strength to their families, please. Please help all the children who have been affected in Ukraine and in Russia. Thank you, dear Lord Jesus Christ. Amen. My friends, thank you very much. I missed you. I missed the stream yesterday due to personal circumstances, but I felt sort of out of sorts. I missed you. It's great to be back. It's great to see you all. It's great that there are 2,300 people prayed with me. This is actually amazing. Thank you so very much. You are all absolutely awesome. You totally rock. And I will have another message for you tomorrow. I will see you soon, I hope. Before I finish the stream, usual, I want everyone to say along with me, to say it out loud. Carthago delende est.